Day 100, I thought I would finish this 100-day video challenge with something that I have learned to be the most impactful in the handyman business, and that has been sharing the knowledge that I have with others. I wanted to bring you guys into one of our private group coaching calls where we talk about the subsequent employees that you should hire. So in what order should you hire employees, and what should be your first employee hire? In the last many years of running this business, we have actually grown it with employees. We now have a total of 6 employees in our business. And I also am a handyman business coach. So I help people start up their business and also help them grow their business with employees. And in this clip that you are about to see, this is our private group coaching session where we talk about hiring employees and actually growing our business to the point where our business basically runs without us. So we're gonna start off with a great quote from one of our clients about success and how he has found the best way to find success. And then we're gonna go ahead and hop into me teaching a little bit about hiring employees, and then we'll catch you back right here when this clip is done.
I was looking for some coaching and some networking and just hanging out with people that are smarter than me. I've learned that if you hang out with people that are smarter than you get successful a lot quicker.
What's the layout of subsequent employees? So me and Travis, we had a great conversation today about kind of the handyman business and how I recommend you hire employees. So this is the layout of subsequent employees after you hire a CSR. I recommend hiring a CSR because that takes a huge load off your shoulders of answering the phones, answering the emails. You can also throw in that they can post on Facebook, do social media advertising, things like that. So that takes that load off of your shoulders so that you can focus on basically working in the field, estimating, and selling jobs. So that's your main focus at that point. And then your second position of hire would either be a technician assistant or a technician. And the technician assistant, we've talked a lot about that, but I'll briefly explain what that is. A technician assistant is basically a much greener guy. It could be a guy who doesn't know anything about the construction industry, but maybe has the ability to stay focused and organized, and he would pick up materials, deliver them to the employees' houses. He'd be there to help you hold up a TV when you're mounting it. He'd be there, kind of an extra set of hands. Hey, go get me this, go get me that. So that's a technician assistant. Or a technician, obviously, is another person that works alongside you or completely replaces you out in the field, and they are doing the work. So hire a CSR, then hire a technician or technician assistant. And those are the people that are, once you get a technician that's fully trained and ready to rock and roll, they're out there performing all the work as a technician should, and that frees you up. So now you're freed up. You have someone answering the calls, you have someone doing the work. Now you're freed up to focus on the estimates. And at this point is when I would recommend hiring an estimator. And the reason why I do it this way is because at this point you would have the time, the mental bandwidth to not worry about the calls, not worry about the work. You might be doing you might be a technician, part-time or something like that, but you're not extremely focused 40 hours a week on the field work. So you can actually focus on training that employee, training that estimator. And then after you have fully trained him, you move into the position now of the service manager or the general manager in your business. And at that point, you can continue, looking at the business, seeing what it needs. Does it need another technician to provide more cash flow? Does it, and kind of grow it from that point. And then eventually you can go a few different directions, but you can hire, what we did is we hired a general manager at that point after we hired a second technician to basically replace me, so that I could go and focus on other revenue streams. I could focus on my family. And then at that point, I become the CEO of the business, which my main focus is marketing, finances, and company culture. That's my main focus. So, and then another great question that Travis brought up during our conversation was, how does that necessarily work? Because once you get, say you have one technician out in the field, can that one technician support a CSR, a technician, an estimator, and you? Like, that's a lot of income that one technician needs to bring in. There's a few different things that are the reasons for that. One is you could still be part-time technician if you need to be. Another thing is you have to make sure your pricing is correct. You have to make sure that you're constantly going through your pricing calculations so that you're charging enough. And then the third one is a technician that's only job is to do technical work is going to be more efficient than you were when you were in that position. Because when you were the technician, you were also the CSR, you were also the estimator, you were also the sales guy, you were also the finance guy, you were the guy that took stuff to the dump, you were the guy that took money and deposited in the bank. So you had a lot of other stuff going on, so you couldn't devote all your time to technical work. Whereas when you hire a technician, they can devote all of their time, if that's all they're doing, to that technical work and hopefully bring in more money. So that's really provides for that third question of the cash flow with employees of how you create that. And it's ultimately what I've found through the experience is when you hire someone to do a specific job, they do that job really well. And they oftentimes do it better than you did as the business owner when you were in that position.
Good evening, everyone. So my question is, when we did the pricing course in the Handyman Academy, you talked about how we only have like 50 to 75% time for technical work in the pricing model. When we hire a full-time position, would we build that back to full-time at 8 hours or still partial time like you had it before?
Yeah, great question. Great question. So, and it's different for each person. You really have to, that's something you have to continually monitor is their efficiency. Some people are going to be quicker than others. And that's a huge key of like, if someone's going to work out or not, if they're extremely inefficient, then they're probably not going to work out. But by and large, the way that I do it when I'm calculating the efficiency of an employee is I automatically bring them down to 80%. So I figure that they're going to be about 80% efficient. Just because, they have lunch, they got other stuff going on. They might have to run and go pick up a part. They might have to think about something for a little while. And again, this is all if you have a technician assistant that's actually running the parts and stuff like that. But typically 80% efficiency is what you're going to find by and large. If you get the right people, like for instance, our technician during the summer, he ran for quite a few months at about 100% efficiency, which was pretty amazing. But again, still, I want to base what I'm charging at that 80% efficiency rate. So I'm actually charging a little bit more because that really just covers a lot of the slow time. It covers if jobs go south or they don't go quite right. It really just helps in the long run.
With the CSR, so I actually started out with, I guess would be a technician assistant, and I'm slowly getting him to where he'll I can let him go on certain jobs and do certain things, and I'm trying to let him go as much as I can so that he can get more confident on that. So I guess I went a little bit backwards without doing the CSR first. I guess I'm having a hard time. I don't know if I have a full-time position as a CSR, I guess. So if is anybody in that same position, and are they using anybody on a part-time basis? Like maybe working from home, and how do you structure that, and what might that look like for someone else? Thanks.
That's a great question. Andres, did you ever reply to Aaron's or do you have a new one?
Yeah, I have a
Okay, go for it.
I have a CSR person hired for 10 hours a week, so 2 hours a day, and it works great. Like, sure, she can't take phone calls as they come in unless they come in while she's working. But she can reply to them, and then I don't need to pick up the phone all day. And really, I don't think I've worked more than 10 hours a week either. But she can take care of social media posts, respond to messages, schedule, all that kind of stuff in those 10 hours. And I think it works great. And there's tons of people out there that want to have a part-time job.
I would say when I first started out with my CSR, we started out part-time. So we started her out 15 hours a week. And I think we were paying her $15 an hour, whatever minimum wage was at the time back in 2019. And it worked out great. And it's just much like Andre said, is, they work a set amount of hours per day. And basically they answer as many phone calls as they can. Obviously, there's still calls that are being left behind. But hopefully you could pick those up as you can, or they can hop on those when they get back on the next morning. But there's nothing wrong with doing it part-time, because at the end of the day, it's just if some calls get answered, it's better than no calls getting answered. So Any way that you can start really helps. And if you do the math, hiring someone for 15 hours a week for $15, it's really not that much money. You're gonna be able to pay for that person in no time. Just a few jobs and you got it covered. So at the end of the day, that there's nothing wrong with that, and also there's nothing wrong with doing it backwards in a sense, right? There's many ways to skin a cat. There's people that have hired technicians first. There's people that have hired estimators first. It really just what floats your business. I just share what's worked best for me and what I've done in my business and what makes most sense logically looking back at it. We hired a CSR first. I look back at it, I'm like, would I have done it differently? I don't think so. I think that I'm really glad at the choices I made because it freed me up, to focus on hiring the other individuals. Whereas, for instance, if you hire a technician first, you might be sitting there training that technician, and then a call comes in your business and you don't want to miss the call. So you're like, hold on 1 second, trainee, I got to take this call. And while you're taking that call with, Susie Smith calling about her toilet running, that technician that you're hiring is just standing there because they don't know what to do next. And you're paying for them just to stand there, listen to you on the phone. So at least in my mind, it makes a lot of sense to hire a CSR, get those phones off your shoulder so that you can focus entirely on your next hire. At least that's the way I see it. It may not be the way that works best for you. And that's perfectly fine. You got to do what works best for you at the end of the day. Fantastic. That was such a great group coaching call. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We do these every other Tuesday. We meet as a community and we talk about different business principles. So if you are interested at all in growing your handyman business, I would absolutely love to help you. You can set up a free consultation call with me just to hear a little bit about what this program is about or ask me any question that you wish. You can set that up at handymanjourney.com/coaching. At that same website, you can get some more information about this coaching program, but I am here to help you. That's one of the biggest things that I've learned in this business is when you actually learn and grow. I've been doing this since 2016. You can't keep all that information to yourself. And it's just been such a blessing to help other people start or grow their business. It's been such a blessing to me personally to see other people discover that freedom that I have as well through this business. It's been a really cool journey, and I hope that you would think about joining me on it. And I look forward to talking with you on our free consultation call that you could set up at handymanjourney.com/coaching. Well, this has been day 100 of the 100-day video challenge. Absolutely fantastic. We did it, guys. We did it. We made it to the finish line, and I thank you guys for being with me every single step of the way. It has been a great journey. I've learned a lot. I'm going to make a video here in a few days kind of outlining the things that I've learned through these 100 days. I would love to hear what you guys have learned through these 100 days. If you could drop me a comment in the comment section below. You guys are the main reason why I do this, so I would love to hear what you guys got out of it, maybe what else you would have liked to hear me talk about. I'm still planning on making a bunch of great content, so don't go anywhere. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, go ahead and subscribe because it's only going to get better than it is right now. Thank you guys so much, and we will see you guys on the next video.